Assalamualaikum. Can you let me know my voice is clear or not, Raju? Hello. Hello. Can anybody clear that my voice is clear or not? All right. Thank you for hearing. So we are going to move to our today topic before moving to the practice. However, I can answer one question which is in chat that someone asks, if I join from today, will it be understandable to me? Yes, ma'am. Of course. We just have look at the structure of the speaking part, and then in the first week, and then we have practice different tests. So normally we are doing here practicing, but we try to look some information specifically on Monday. Last Monday we have discussed about band descriptors that talk about marking criteria of this test, means what examiner is looking in our speaking. So which most thing we have need to focus on it. So we normally do practice of different tests, but before going to practice, I will discuss about filler words and how we can avoid it in our speaking. The reason behind this, I have noticed many people are facing this problem based on our 2 week speaking practice, which we have done in the last 2 weeks. So that's why I am going to discuss about this. What is this problem and how we can come to the solution? What is the solution? If we have an affiliate word, it means it affects your fluency, and when your fluency is affected, it means it will lower your score. Means fluency and coherence is one of the marking criteria. So when you're choosing filler words, it also affect your coherence besides affecting your filler words. So that's why I'm going to discuss about this. Then we will move to our practice session if we have enough time. Normally we do practice on daily basis, so you can join and can start your practice anywhere. Okay, let's talk about what are like filler words. So anyone can tell me what are filler words if anyone know. Anyone have idea? Can raise your hand if you have an idea. All right. If no one have idea, I can discuss about this. So filler words are one of the filler words type is using sounds when we like lacking ideas. It depends on different factors, and these sounds are as these are the words which these are not words. These are sounds which we produce when we speak, and this speaking can be I speaking or might be any communication which we deliver. So these are the filler words. As it's a one of the type of filler words you can say. And when we use a filler words in a language, it means our fluency is affected. So one type is this. What are the other types? Some people use repetitively some words. It's a one type of filler words. Many people use this many times while they are speaking. So when you use one phrase again and again, it doesn't give any meaning. It means you are disfluence in your speaking. So we have need to avoid it. So if anyone got the idea of filler words, let me know. If anyone did not got it as well, then let me know. I can explain it again.
Yeah, ma'am, I got it. So, but sometimes we also use like, yeah, these kind of words.
Yeah, this is also one type of filler words. We have to use filler words are sounds and can also be phrases. So these, if you are using these phrases repetitively, again in every answer, it means it is affecting your fluency. It means you don't have language to communicate. So that's why we call the filler words. You can use sometimes, couple of times, but not again and again in entire speaking. So the questions are filler is good to use in speaking. As I've discussed, it affect your fluency, and when the fluency is effective, we will get lower score. Means our score is also affected. They are it, but it depends on what you think the filler is. So if you are using specific tenses, in that case, it can be these can be good. And what are the sentences we will look into? The problem is that and are only sounds and do not represent language. So these are the sounds, they are not language, and we are giving the language test, not the sound test. So when we speak, produce sounds instead of language, then it is considered as filler. Whereas real filler words, which are words, are great to use and don't have a bad impact on your fluency band score. So we know there are four marking criteria and each contribute 25%. So fluency is one of the four marking criteria and it holds 25% of our marks. There are a number of aspects relating to marking criteria, and one of them is the ability to speak without hesitation. It's about a natural flow of language, and as I mentioned, these disrupt or the flow of speaking and can lower our score. So what are the then good flavors if we lacking ideas? Okay, what are my before moving to what are the good flavors, we had to discuss what how we can avoid like flavors. There are some reasons. These are the some strategies or phrases you can say which you can say when you are producing fillers. But the question is that why this problem occur? Why we use fillers in a language? What are the reasons? We have need to point out the problem before coming to the solution. So what causes this problem? We have to discuss about these reasons before coming to the solution. So there are th- three different reasons on which you are getting like producing these sounds. One is that sometimes we're lacking ideas, we don't know what we have to speak next. In that case, we usually use these filler bars. Second is that we don't know what will be the right word here while we're speaking, either it should be adjective or something else phrase, so we try to use these filler word. Another reason is that we are getting distracted by different things, and that can be like you are speaking, someone came in your eye in your front of eyes, and you start becoming distracted and you lost what you were saying. So as a result, you try to use these filler words, and distractions can be any other thing, any objects that comes in front of your eyes while speaking. So these are the three reasons which I have found. So you have need to identify which reasons suits you, or you can say implement on you. If it is just because of ideas, then you have need to work on that. So if it is you're not much good in grammatical range or something, you are try to make the words what should be the right way here, either adjective or any verb or anything. So these are the different reasons. There might be any other reason rather than this. If you found, you can share it. So you have need to identify what are the reason. If any of the reason implements on you, you have need to work on it. So what we can do for avoiding this means we wanted to avoid these sounds, but what we have need to use some language related words. So when we speak in English, instead of uh, delivering sound like we are saying something in language and using some phrases, so it's mean we're delivering a language, not a sound. So let's discuss what are these phrases which we can use. Okay, this session is recorded, and when session will finish, we will upload this recording on Facebook. While previous recordings are available on Facebook, and if you look at the 1 p.m. channel in pin messages, you will find the sheet in which everyday recording is link is mentioned there. So if you don't want to search manually on Facebook page, so you can explore our 1 p.m. channel and can go in the pin messages, and you will find the sheet where the link of each recording is there. Another question is what we are learning. So we are talking about filler words because when we're doing I speaking practice in last 2 weeks, I have noticed many people have problem have this problem and they are facing it. And what we have noticed in the last week, there are four marking criteria, and one of them is fluency and coherence. When we use filler words, it not only affects our fluency but also our coherence. So that's why today I have decided to discuss about this problem and solution before moving to our practice. And for remaining days of this week, we will go for all part practice. Yes, ma'am. Nazir, you have raised and you can ask the question.
Ma'am, I have a question. As you have mentioned, we can't use voice fillers, but we can use word fillers. So we can repeat them during the conversation.
Okay, I have mentioned that we can use it couple of times, not in all questions. So if you are using is filler word. It is not the phrase. We're talking about phrases, some long phrases which we can use. But if you're using even multiple times in one answer, it will definitely going to affect your fluency. So you don't need to use these words such as well. So these are the words. There are some phrases, but if you are going to use one phrase in one question, that is okay. But if you're using these phrases again and again and again, then it is also not okay. It shows that you don't have language because repetition is not considered while speaking. So we have need to avoid repetition. And when you are going to use the same phrases again, it leads to repetition.
Ma'am, to add here, you know word is not allowed in speaking in IELTS.
Sir, can you repeat the question? I did not got it.
Ma'am, I'm saying that the word you know or the phrase you know is not allowed in IELTS speaking test
It's not.
as a filler word. We cannot use it as a filler word in IELTS.
Yes, it is a filler word, and we have also need to avoid it. Okay, let's see what are good filler words which we can use instead of avoiding those. There are some cases we are lacking ideas. In that case, we can use, but we have to work it to improve fluency, and we will see the what are the solution. But there are some of in case we are still having the filler words. Filler is word that we can use to fill gaps while we think. So it means that we can continue speaking by filling in gaps. Here is an example of filler words. So let's see what is the example. Do you think this is the question? Do you think men and women like the same kinds of holidays? So you are now lacking ideas, and ideas are not coming in your mind. So what you will do? Well, to be honest, it is not something I have thought about before. Let me see. I guess men and women do like different kinds of holidays. So you can see how the that was replaced. Even we're using the word, So how it's still person is speaking. It means examiner is testing a language, not sound. So if you are using some language, it is okay, but remain if you are we have discussed marking criteria when we talk about higher bands 8 or 9. We should be stay relevant to the topic, so don't need to use these things in every person. There are sometimes happens like you can use, but don't make it a habit of using it in every person at the start or anywhere. So if you are still thinking of an answer when you are delivering your message, but these are not sound, these are the language. So let's see how it is affecting our speaking. So how would you improve your home if you had the chance? I suppose that I think well, I guess I would add garden outside or a balcony for outside space. You can see how it is effective because listener is unable to understand me. How you will say that listener is not going to understand what are you saying when you use two words and then you produce filler bars and then you again say something and then you say filler bar. It means listener will become distracted from your message. that person will not able to understand or might be unable to connect all the ideas. So that's why we have need to avoid it. But when we say, well, let me here's mean I am listener will understand that we are saying we are not have an idea and we're thinking about something. I have not actually considered improving my home before. You can see how that phrase relevant to the person has been used. So the person don't know about either that person will improve his or her home in the future or not. But what that person is saying, well, let me see. I think we can take a little bit pause. I haven't actually considered improving my home before. I'm not exactly sure what I would do to be honest, but I guess if I had to choose, I would add a garden or balcony so that I had some outdoor space. So you can see this answer is understandable, but this one is not just because of filler zone. And if we are using language, it is means we can convey even if we don't know idea. So it is better to convey this to use language instead of using filler words, but try to not use in every question in every sentence. So what we have need to do then if we are can't use in every sentence and everywhere, because it's mean although good ideas are not part of like marking criteria, so it is not recommended that you should focus on your idea should be great while you're answering, because it is not the marking criteria. Your idea should be relevant to the question, but don't focus on having a good idea. So whatever you answer, because everyone know either we will improve our home or not, but sometimes we're struggling while communicating, and just because of not having knitting language, we can say if we are not sure we can use these type of phrases. I'm not exactly sure what I would do to be honest, but I guess if I had to choose, I would add a garden. You can say anything. I would add a garden, indoor swimming pool. I can add balcony. I can build some new rooms. I can change the setup of my home. So there are different things. What comes in your mind, you can say. Although it is true that native speakers still use these words, but when you are performing online or giving webinar or arranging interview or giving podcast, it means your every word or sound considered as a word. And if you are using filler word, these are also considered as one word while you are recording. So when we will go to the solution, how we can avoid these filler words. So at that time we will discuss the solution, and we will back to the recording feature. It is true that it is natural to produce these songs while we are thinking, and even native speaker will do so. Passes in speaking are accepted in unspeaking if they are rare. You can see these should be couple of times, mean these are rare, not frequent. They are because you are thinking of an idea, not a word. Everyone has a old past when they think about an idea, even native speakers. But these pauses are not language related, they are not frequent, and they don't interrupt transit. What it means, it shouldn't be related to language means if you don't have like you are pausing because you don't know what word should be comes next, such as adjective, verb. So at that time you are taking pauses because you don't know how to formulate your structure, what should you use. So these are language related, and these we have need to avoid. But if you have taken the pause to just think about the answer or ideas because you're lacking ideas, that is the good, but it shouldn't be related to language. Okay, and sometimes we produce songs because you are stuck for a word and need to think more about language. It will definitely lower your score. Any passes which are language related will lower your score. So learn to use filler word or ask the examiner to repeat the question so you have thinking in. So couple of times we can also say, can you repeat the question to examiner as I have didn't get it. So 1 2 times we can use. Okay, let's say we have an amount of 10 questions. Sometimes these happen normally when we are in part 3 and there are 5 to 6 questions. 1 2 times if we can use these phrases, but one time we can say repeat the question I didn't get. So we can avoid these filler words by saying these words. So we can cover some question. There might be just 1 or 2 questions we are able to answer this question. So asking to Repeat the question is okay. Asking to repeat the question. If you need thinking time in part one, ask the examiner to repeat the question. You can do this a couple of times and it will not affect your score. So in part two, you can ask the examiner to repeat or explain the question. One is probably enough and it will not affect your score. So one is enough. Alright, you can say one or two times. One times if we say in part one and one times party, so it can be a couple of times. So say we can use couple of times to phrases which we have mentioned. So in that a couple of times will be able to answer this question because at that time we have an idea. So how we can cover these different questions, how we can handle in different way. But if these fillers are frequent, like in every sentence, in every verse, how we have need to avoid, how we have need to remove it. If you are using syllabus in your language, it means you are going to use in the real exam. So we have need to work it. What are the solutions that can help us to get rid of this situation? So we're going to see the solution. But before moving to the solution, if anyone have any idea related to it, can you mention, or if anyone want to add, you are feel free to add it. And if you didn't understand any concept, you can may ask the queries now. Then we will move to the solution part. No one has a question. Should I move forward? Alright, it means you are understood it. If you still don't understand anything, you feel free to ask it again. Some of the thank you for letting me know that you understand it. There are some strategies we can use to avoid fillers. Some we discuss about using phrases instead of sounds. So what are other how we have need to avoid it on a if we have frequent ones. Okay, one thing, if you're having these syllabus just because of not having ideas, so you have need to go through to different ideas. You have need to read answers related to different topics, which I have discussed earlier in previous classes. If you're lacking ideas in any topic you think you find difficult because you don't have enough information or ideas, some topics are not sometimes comes in our eyes or might be there might be we shouldn't read it before. So if it is comes how we can get information. If you found some topic difficult, you know this topic if comes in exam should be difficult, and you find like having not having ideas to respond, so you can go but that topic and can read the answers of these topics. This was the one way if you are producing these songs just because of not having ideas. So this is the solution for a problem if you don't have any ideas. What about if there are other reasons? What are the other techniques which we can use to avoid these ones? So what are the strategies? One strategy is you have need to become a mindful speaker. But who is the mindful speaker? The person. Some what I notice when I listen to some people answers, they are not mindful speakers. Mindful speakers means the person who is aware of what he or she is saying. Sometimes we are just giving answer. We don't know what we are saying, we don't know what sentences we are saying either our structure is right or not. We just focus on just answering the question. So you have need to avoid it. You have need to become a mindful speaker. Means when you have need to aware of what you are saying, every word, every phrase you are saying. So when you are a mindful speaker, you can note down every thing, even every mistake you are making. So sometimes why we are unable to note down all the mistakes, because when not doing mindful speaking, so we have need to practice it from now onwards. We will try to give answer in a conscious mind instead of just giving the answer. We will know what we have need to focus on. Initially, it might be feel hard to do this, but with the passage of time, you will find improvement in that way. Instead of using pillars, practice pausing briefly together. So when we are at the stage of becoming mindful speaker, then we will notice ourselves what flavors we use. And when you will notice what you have need to use, what strategy you have need to use, you have need to use a strategy of catch and pass. What is the catch and pass strategy? You have need to notice your flavors. When you are a mindful speaker, you are going to notice your flavors. This strategy is known as catch and past strategy, which we can use to avoid. You have when you will notice the flavors, you have to take a little bit pause instead of producing a sound, a short pause, not a longer one. So practice pausing briefs together your thoughts. Then we will take short pause. It will give us a little bit time to come with ideas which we are lacking. So can make you appear more composed and deliberate. So when we can catch, when we will do path, definitely when we will catch our kilowatt, and when we will be able to catch our kilowatts when we are doing mindful speaking. So all these things are interrelating. Like if you want to catch your kilowatts, you have, if you want to avoid your kilowatts, you have need to take little bit pause. So if you have need to take part, you have need to catch your kilowatts. Kilowatts mean when you produce sounds. And how will you be able to catch your sounds? Definitely when you are speaking consciously. So you are aware of what you are saying, every word, every sentence. Another thing, when we speak fastly, normally we don't get enough time to think about ideas, and we are rushing everything. In that we are producing more fillers. So one way is we have need to slow down our pace of speaking. So it shouldn't be too slow too fast, it should be in the average. So when we are in average, we are having a time to little bit thinking about the next ideas. This is also the one side, and we have need to use both of them. We have need to, what we have need to do, one we have need to catch and pass strategy, and for this we have need to become a mindful speaker. One is we have need to first become a mindful speaker, then we have need to use catch and pass, and then we have need to slow down our pace. Another strategy is that sometimes we don't get words. Some topic is unknown, unfamiliar with us, and we're not getting any words, so we can enhance our vocabulary. And when we try to get ideas on different topics that are coming in this part, at that time we try to read those ideas, and that time when you try to, like if you are reading answers related to our topic, then you can find some words that will help you use in your vocabulary, like artist, calligraphy. There are different type of paintings, drawings. You can, might be people sometimes ask which type of art do you like. If you don't know about anything art, how you will respond this question? So you can say drawing, painting, calligraphy. These are different, and how these art forms are different. So artistic, you can say this is the word which we can use in that way. So these are the different words, and we have need to read answer of this different past questions which are coming in the exam, so that we can boost our vocabulary. Sometimes we want to convey our idea, and we don't know what word we use in that language. Like if we know that concept is that in native language, and what word we will use to convey that um, meaning into English language. So let's say if the we know the when we cut on the banana, its color is changed. So what we call it discoloration. So if we don't know how or which word we are going to use while representing this idea, so we should have a word of discoloration to describe its reason of not uh, presenting in salad. So we know some words. So practice responsive. Engage in a regular speaking practice where you focus on using very vocabulary and avoiding fillers. So sometimes we are not getting ideas or might be a words vocabulary to describe them. So and we can improve it. But keep in mind sometimes using too uh, tough vocabulary we came into making mistake which affect our current range and accuracy. So don't try to use too much fancy words. So the more you use the past learned words, there's a high chance you will make less mistake. So you can use some new ideas of words related to topic. So like you should have some words to say when we talk about like when we if a question is related to like technology, what we can use some emerging technology. Innovation is a word which devices are used nowadays. So these are the some words which are related to specific topics. So there's few words to use in the language, but it is not necessary to learn too much fancy words. And because when you try to use new words which is not used by yourself previously, there is a high chance that you try to make mistakes in sentence structure, which we call it grammatical range and accuracy, which is also one of the marking criteria. So, but another is prepare and plan. Online key point before the test practice online your response to the common topics. So we have need to practice, but still we are not sure. Then I even listened to story of one person who practiced a topic and that topic came in the test. This is not the case always. So we should be able to speak on variety of topics. Although we have need to practice on different topics, even on common topics, but there might be a chance you got the question in the paper which is unfamiliar with you. You can answer this generic question which I have discussed in the previous article, how we can answer when we discuss about if you get a chance to add something in your home, what would you like to do? So we can still answer. We have an idea, so don't try to stuck in using too much tough ideas, which makes you compel you to use filler words, and as a result, you are lacking ideas to say something. Follow clear structure in response introduction main points feel like we have need to follow it to give your answer focus and organize. So one thing which I have mentioned earlier that you have need to become a mindful speaker so that you can guard your ideas. So what is another way to monitor your as I mentioned when you are recording, sometimes filler words are not looking much when you are physically practicing with someone, and when you don't support yourself much. But when it comes to recording, you will notice that how clearly you will be able to see those filler words when you will record your voice. So try to record your answers, ask one question from yourself and try to give answer, and then and try to record these answer and try to listen what you have said and how many filler words you have used. So in that way it can help you to um, remove the filler words or you can avoid. So how you can become fluent speaking and how you can avoid this problem, how so the another ways you have me to record yourself. So seek feedback. You have me to talk about with other teaching or language or who can provide constructive feedback when you use a filler and suggest areas for improvement. So we have discussed already what we can do to improve, how to avoid these filler words. So besides practicing in session, do multiple things like try to record yourself. I have already shared one app where you can even find ideas like different topics answers are provided in that app, and that app is free to use. You just need to download it, and as well as there is a feature of recording for different questions and you can listen that much. So I have shared that app as well for this purpose. Engage in active learning, model ghosting, listen to, and other thing we will say, we have need to listen to different podcasts so that we can know how they say the words, how they speak fluently, how they pronounce what is their style of uh, speaking when they communicate something, because intonation is one of the marking criteria. If you are aiming to get higher bands, you also need to focus on it. So even you will learn new vocab if you are listening to different online videos in this language. So listening, try to um, listen to different podcasts or videos, because speaking is the output, and for this output we need input in different forms. One is listening. So listening is one of the input to our output. So the more you input, the more better your output. So sometimes we have now phrases which we are already know, so which we can use while speaking, like, to be honest. And sometimes we say, I didn't thought about this. Sometimes we have in a words we can use, such as linking words. Consequently, like, what happens when we are discussing about the ideas which have some um, effect, so you can use the linking words consequently, and in the meanwhile you can think about it, and then can talk about what is the effect of this idea. Because when we aiming for high 8 and 9 wins, we have seen in the pen descriptors that our idea should be extended and topic relevant. So our ideas for party should be extended. So when we talk about extending our ideas, we try to take one or two ideas and try to give the reasons, consequences, benefits in different terms. We try to extend our answer. So this is the entire what we have seen. If we summarize all these things, although it is a natural in a conversation, but excessive use can negatively impact your speaking score by affecting your fluency and coherence and overall impression. It means we are unable to communicate. By practicing mindful speaking, enhancing your vocabulary, preparing thoroughly, and actively monitoring your language use, you can reduce. This is monitoring your language use means the strategy which we have discussed, mindful speaking. You can reduce the reliance on fillers and improve your speaking performance. Approaching your screen will, these strategies will help you present your ideas more clearly and confidently, ultimately leading to a stronger performance and a better score. Good luck. Okay, so you can see, if I summarize these strategies, one is we have need initially we have need to become a mindful speaker. When we're doing mindful speaking, it means we're able to identify. So next is we have need to identify what we when we are going to use filler word, and when we catch it, we have need to take pause. So this is the one strategy. Another monitoring strategy is, you have need to record yourself. Recording help you to identify that you are using filler words. Sometimes people are able to hear your filler words, but when you try to record yourself, you are more better to analyze that how much and how frequently you are using these filler words. So self-monitoring help to that you are either using filler words or not. You have need to record yourself as well as to give to test to another person. So use both strategies and then find out how frequently you are using these words. So when you identify it, you have need some solutions to overcome this. One is like catch and pass and mindful speaker. Second is, if it is just because of ideas, you have need to read different type of answer related to different topics. And third thing is you have need input for your output. Like if you speaking is the output, and what input is need for this output, you need to listen to different English podcasts. BBC is also a good BBC podcast or 6 minute English, but you are able to understand help in listening module. But you will hear different style of their saying, different vocab, how they are pronouncing. So you will get many things when you will do this or adopt this strategy. So another is you have need to speak, or you can say you need to slow down your pace. Sometimes it shouldn't be too much, but when you are slowing down your pace, it will help you, or you can say it will give you some time to think. So that is the one way. So there are 4 to 5 strategies, and these will be very helpful. And try to work on your fancy, and then we will move. Although I have discussed many, or we have discussed all the marking criteria, and then we try to analyze if we should use all four while speaking. But what happens as a result, many people when they try to focus all these area simultaneously, what happened, they try to they started to make a lot of mistakes. So what I came to conclusion that we have need to focus this week on fluency, and we have need to work all these strategies so that we can become better, and then we can move grammatical range and accuracy and pronunciation and lexical resource then. So in this week we try to more focus on our fluency and try to avoid these fillers. So we try to identify our fillers this week so that we can overcome this issue, because it is affects our fluency, because fluency is the continuous flow of your speech without having any hesitation, without having any self correction, without having any filler. So when you are doing self corrections, might be sometimes you go some ideas and try to describe something else, you are confused which one to use next, and sometimes our coherence is dis- disturbed when we try to shift to one area to next simultaneously. So we have need to maintain coherence. So this is from my side about this. Hope so you will understand it. What are the flavors? mm, which problems lead to this issue, and what are the solutions? And we have need to implement all these solutions so that you can become a fluent speaker. And I hope so all these strategies work for you. So that's why came I bring this topic today. So if anyone have any question, you can ask. Ma'am Nazia, you have raised hand.
Ma'am, I want to ask from where I get the test of speaking like for practice. And second is, can you please summarize previous lectures, what you guys covered?
All right. If you're practicing for other modules, definitely you have Cambridge books. In Cambridge books, all four tests are available: listening, reading, writing. These are 1 to 19 books, and each book have four tests. So you even in terms of speaking as well as other modules for each book, we normally practice from those Cambridge books on a daily basis. So this is just for speaking module, for practice module. So we are doing practices. If we found something helpful and we found that we have need to discuss something, so we normally discuss these things in the first week. You know, uh, first day of the first week, I had just give the basic introduction. I have shared the slide in the Slack channel, and even you can watch the recording. And we will discuss about um, structure of this part, how we have need to answer this. So, and then remaining days we have practiced it. For the second week, which was the last week, I have discussed about band descriptors, because I noticed that we have need to know what examiner is looking in our speaking. If we don't know, it's mean we have to if we don't know, it's mean we don't know how to get good score. So to get high score, we have need to know which areas we have need to focus on it. So that's why in the last week, uh s- last I think last first day of last week, I have discussed band descriptors. Link of these notes are always shared in the channel, and all the notes are pin important notes are pinned in the channel. So when you will go in the pin messages, you will find all these resources which I have discussed and shared. Even you will find the recording links of each day in a one Excel sheet. You just need to go to by clicking those sheet, and where link of every recording is there. So in this week, I have um, discussed this topic because I found this issue. So for the now onwards, we will start our speaking practice we normally do on a daily basis. This session is for practicing different parts. So sometimes I discuss some problem which we face, or some important information which I found that we have need to discuss it. And if anyone is facing some issue, that as I mentioned earlier, that people are facing this issue that they have fillers in the language, which is affecting our fluency. So that's good. Any other question? If
Hello, ma'am.
anyone have any other question? Uh, we can, I can take in. Otherwise, I think we don't have much time, but we still can practice part one today.
Hello.
So yes, sir.
Ma'am, today is my first lecture of IELTS, so guide me. I can clear previous lecture or continue from today.
Sir, your voice is very slow. Could you please speak loudly?
Hello. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
And today is my first lecture, so I have need to clear previous lectures, so I can move forward from today. Today is my first IELTS lecture.
There are just two main. If you know about basic things, you don't need to go the. I just mentioned, and there are 2 week session, and for every week you just need to go two lecture. Day one of week one and day one of week two, because day one of week work we have discussed about the basic structure. If you know, then it is okay. But you must go band descriptors lecture, which is we discuss day one of week two. So these are two. Otherwise, we have practice all session. So you can start your practice from now onwards. You just need to see these two lectures. Otherwise, remaining session are practice session. So we are doing here practice session. So that's why you can carry on from now onwards. So if you want to, if you are here for speaking practice, this session is specifically dedicated for this module. And if you want to look into all modules, there are other sessions which are discussing all modules 1 week. They not usually discuss in just 1 week, and then they focus on to another module. So if you want to improve your speaking skill, because we know this is crucial to get TA ship in US universities, you need higher score in this part. So that's why I decided to take consider this session, so that we all can improve our speaking skill and can get good score. So you can join this session, and anywhere it is not like you don't need to have prior knowledge, and you must listen all the like say if you have a time, you just go through the band script. Even if you don't have time to listen the recording, I have shared the document. You can go through it as well.
Okay, ma'am, this is the best. You can share the document. And one question more. IELTS, which pattern we follow? Exam follow the. We give the computer based IELTS or paper based. Which one is best?
Okay, I hope so. I think if you don't know about this paper, in the last message which I read weeks ago on British website, Pakistan British Council website, they mentioned that that exam was going to end on 8 March, and 8 March has been passed. So paper based exam, I hope so, has been ended forever. So there is only one option, computer based. So you should do your practices with the help of computer. Don't go no for paper, because it had been ended almost, because the deadline was to give that as till 8 March. We can see.
You mean paper based is the best for
No,
us?
I am saying that exam was going to end in Pakistan on March 9. So there will be no paper based exam from now onwards. So you only have one choice, you don't have no choice.
No, we have only one choice. Which one? Only
Computer based.
computer based. Oh,
You can see, we will, this is official British Council. We will gradually be phasing out eyes on people, so you will be begin to see fewer test chairs available with enhanced capacity. So that was available till March 8 previously. Might be they have given some time or not, I don't know. But previously, when they mentioned that it was till March 8, so you will check. In my opinion, if you have going to start your preparation, don't start your preparation in the context of paper based so soon. In my opinion, it had been ended till March 8, because the last date which they have mentioned was till March 8. So you have need to practice, you have need to go now for computer based. We don't have choice now.
okay. Now we have one choice, only computer based.
Yes. Yeah. And
If
second thing,
I
all the resources. Yes,
if
sir.
you I plan to give give the IELTS in last of July or August.
Sorry, I'm unable to understand your question. Could you re-explain it?
I have planned to give the IELTS on July. So now we have only one choice. Which one is computer based only?
Yes, we have only one choice now, computer based.
Okay.
So you have need to prepare in that context.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I have shared the app link with someone else. I have also shared previously. Okay, all the this app link is might be not in the channel. Except this, all other resources are shared in the channel of 1 p.m. When you will go to the 1 p.m. channel, you have to check just pin messages by clicking on it, and you will find all the resources. Regarding the today resources, I will share it. So, if anyone else has question regarding to today topic,
Yeah, ma'am. Like there are a lot of kind of words we use while filling our words or speaking. Like I know, you know. But is there any category we use like formal or informal way of speaking them?
okay. Normally, people say that this is like writing is a formal. It is sometimes informal discussion module. Even you can use some phrases like is not good word in use in writing because that is in the exam because that module is formal. While we can use this word in while speaking. Like contractions are not good to use in writing, but you can use in speaking. But so some people say don't become like you don't normally people will do some people even do this that they think that this is a formal discussion, they try to become too informal in the exam, so try to not to adopt this strategy. So you have need to think this is exam and you have need to stay in certain structure and you have need to answer. So try to become, don't consider it as a casual speaking. You are going to give the test, keep in mind and follow the structure. And don't, as I mentioned earlier, don't use the phrases like you can use as I mentioned a couple times, but it is one of the marking criteria. Like if you're using even linking words, this is considered as overuse of any word if you are using in either in speaking writing. So it can even once a time when I was I don't remember the exact test, when I was reviewing the comment of examiner mentioned that that linking word is overused even in the comment. The reason behind it, that linking was used many times in the speaking. So one or two is okay. Try to bring variation because this show you have a lexical resource in terms of vocabulary, idiomatic language, or linking words.
Okay. Or is it a good way to speak them while giving a test of IELTS? Because I had a test. It was not a IELTS test, but there was a part where I have to speak all the this kind of words like I discussed, and they gave me a like a points for them. So is it a good way to use them, or it's not necessary, or it's not good for use?
It depends on which type of test you are giving. So, some in the previous session, some of the participants mentioned me that that person you dealing with test, and if you speak at length in that test, it gives you it boosts your score. But that is not the case in this part. You are not okay to give just yes or not no answer. Even you are not you don't need to give the longer answers. Even in party 4 to 5 sentences are okay. You don't need to be too short like just yes or no. You don't need to be too much lengthy because it's 11 to 14 minutes test time. So while if we talk about Duolingo, one of the participants in previous classes mentioned that we have need to speak at length to get good score. There might be a marking criteria of there, but that is not the case. So it depends on what they are looking while marking the exam. If you know best how the exam is marked, so in that way you can work on it. So Repetition is, in my opinion, whatever the test, repetition is not good. As we have mentioned, if you're using,